Good morning, and welcome to this wonderful Wednesday filled with wonder and awe, which flows in to my narrative-based engineering framework this morning. So I want to come to you with my NBI Live, which is a live, not rehearsed. I'm not just going to read it. I'm going to discuss it in a little more detail. And the wonderful thing is, this morning as I went into the return to the I spoke to me. It gave me my teacher, which is options, and my intention, opportunity, which coexist with each other, and but it brought me to stop studies, and the stop studies are a principled practice of NBI, and probably the most influential and beneficial part of the neuroscience, the neuroplasticity part. I often say that the NBI framework it can be very beneficial, but without the stop studies, it loses its worthiness in the neuroscience part. Following up your framework with your stop studies and returning to your IM declaration, followed by the end of the day with your exit interview, kind of complete the full circle, the full constant repetition circle of NBI and the power that really stimulates the power of the neuroscience within it. So anyway, I'll be talking a little bit about the stop study, so stay on the video and you'll hear a little bit about the stop study as well. So today my teacher was options. And what it was telling me about itself is that we all of humanity, wake up with two things every day: options and opportunities. Why that is just take a moment and place your hand on your heart. You feel that beat? That's options. As long as that's beating, there's options. Raise your hand about 6 to 8 inches. That's opportunity. When you have the heartbeat and you're breathing, life is filled with options and opportunities. Nothing is static. Everything becomes dynamic, especially when you are experiencing everything fully as the most active participant in the unfoldment of your life. That unfoldment of your life becomes unfoldment of betterment with narrative-based interviewing. And it's important not to try and control anything. Control is most times based out of a fear in one of your egos, one of your identities within the ego that you've created and you wrote into existence for protection and prediction. When you're experiencing everything fully, you're not also surrendering control. You're experiencing everything fully, and you now take back your agency, you take back your autonomy and your authority in this moment. Powerful stuff. And the way you take that back, pretty simplistic. Sounds too simple to work, but it is the key. Return to your IM declaration. Declare who you are in this moment. What you participate in now, you're going to experience next. So how you choose to participate, and I choose to participate in the options that present themselves now, we're going to experience next. Those options present us opportunities, and NBI presents us a choice. Return to the I, participate in what's familiar, the familiar identities in that ego, or return to the identity I declare now and move forward in participation. It's going to determine, that immediate future. What I participate in now, I experience next. So options and opportunities, again, coexist. Present themselves every single moment of every single day if I'm present. And because that's the idea. The options are not about the external choice. That's where the mix-up is. The right idea mindset comes when we return to the I, inward alignment with those options. Now the opportunities become full of life because we're now declaring who we are in this moment. We are declaring who we are within these options. We are declaring who we are in the choice of the opportunity we select. It's powerful. It's very powerful. Now, options only present themselves in the moment. Transformation happens now. If we don't look at the now, the power of the now, returning to the present moment, returning to our power, returning to our I, we miss a lot of the options and opportunities in every single moment. Now, this is not saying that you have to sit and be constantly looking. The more you do it, the more you live as the most active participant of your life, the more options will present themselves. And those options are wonderful because they're filled with opportunities. The human experience model, right? Events, circumstances, situations, they're perpetual. And every single one of them expose us to something new or familiar. The challenge is our brain tells our mind to find familiar in the new. That's where the option, opportunity, right, key turn is right there. So then we go in, and every exposure creates an experience. No matter how significant or insignificant that experience is, our brain and mind create a relationship with it. In that relationship to the experience is the narrative we write about how we interpreted what we just experienced. That narrative becomes the memory, and every memory is attached to an emotion. That's all in the unconscious primitive mind. The library, that which you are the librarian of, that you are also the author of every book in that library. And if you wrote them, you can rewrite them. Wow, that's power. And when we rewrite the narrative around that experience, the memory is now malleable. It's dynamic, not static. And along with that, we can then transform the emotion that is driving and activating the identity within the ego. It's a little rabbit hole, but powerful. So in that, knowing that the options that present themselves today allow me to align inwardly so that I can participate outwardly. That means that the opportunities within the options are from an inside out action, a movement from returning inward to the I, outward in the opportunity of choice within that option. And that's again a powerful thing to understand, that I just mentioned that the transformation happens now within those options and opportunities that are presented to us now. And that's the powerful thing. What interferes with those options and opportunities and those choices to participate with familiar or to participate differently from the I, and is part of that neuroplasticity, because that teacher options now is able to be redefined and refined as many times as I stop and come back to the power of the I and really review the options that are available to me. That's the key, because what interferes with me seeing options and opportunities is attachments, opinions, and biases. Those are all attached. That attachment is to the identities of the ego that my past created. They're all from the echo. They're all generated for protection and prediction by the brain, right? And the autopiloting. So if I'm not experiencing life fully in this moment as the most active participant and declaring who I am, I miss, or I fail to properly identify and properly use. Right, the proper identification leads to the proper use with the right on my idea mindset. Right, it allows me then to allow my attachments to past identities, opinions, and biases go, and now I'm presented with authentic choice, and those options become a birthplace to the opportunities come into life. My participation, it's a powerful thing. And those options become like crossroads. And if crossroads are, it's just a crossroad, X, it's multiple roads. You come to a place, options, stop. I am opportunity. Now, the opportunities become abundant. They can become abundant. And I can align with my inward I am declaration and move in what's familiar. That's the autopiloting subconscious, or I can move differently from the I am declaration. That's powerful. That's where NBI gives you a choice. So what I want to talk about is how those options and opportunities really come to life from the birthplace of their existence. Stop study. So if I'm experiencing everything fully as the most active participant in the unfoldment of my life, now these options become more abundant, and the opportunities within them come to life based off returning inward and living outward. And the stop study. So when I stop, an opportunity presents itself. Stop, come back to the power of the moment. Come back to I am declaration. As soon as you do that, what's going to kick in? It's going to calm your body, which is going to calm your mind, slow your mind, so that you can participate from the now, from the inward inquiry, from inwardly outward. Stop, return to I am declaration. The parasympathetic part of your nervous system is automatically going to be activated. You can look at it as a muscle. We just haven't really exercised that muscle as often as we should. But the more we do it, the more we stop and come back to the I am declaration, the more we exercise that muscle. That is the parasympathetic part of your nervous system. Everything slows down. The body remembers. So in order to calm the mind, we must understand how to calm the body. Right? And that's meditatively living. But not going down that rabbit hole. I mean, boom, that's a whole nother thing. So stop, come back to your I am declaration. Now I'm going to sit. I'm going to sit with the options that are available to me, that have been presented themselves to me. I'm going to look at see the emotions attached to these options. How are they making me feel? What is the memory that is the emotional memory that's charging this option right now? And as I'm looking at that and sitting with how I feel and what this option and opportunity is presenting to me, I return again to the I am declaration. This stop study has 6 points of neuroplasticity. This is how we redefine our teachers and every neural connection and synapses connected to every other word in our mind. Because how we define a word is how we live it, use it, and practice it. Also how we participate in it. So when we're stopping and looking at what we're feeling, the emotion, the situation, the memory, we're redefining it and refining it over time. So then we sit with it. Okay, return to I am opportunity. Now I'm going to sift. What is it? Sift is two things in that stop study. So I stopped, I sit, now I'm sifting through the environmental scan and the body scan. What options and opportunities are available outside of me? Right? And how am I recognizing, interpreting, comprehending, and going to respond to this? Now this is minding the gap. Sifting allows us to mind the gap between the stimulus and choice and response. Powerful. Because what's in the middle is the laboratory of thought. All right, this is where we're now, the middle of that triangle, stimulus, the stimuli, response, and decision. The wider the gap, the higher quality of decision we're going to make, right? And that's allowing us to what? Inwardly inquire and return to that I. The space is the miracle. The space is where the miraculous mind shifts come in, right? Where the neuroplasticity really takes on a life of its own. Man, we are the engineer and the architect of our narrative in this moment, and what choice, how we make a choice in the options that are presented to us as opportunity. Powerful stuff. So once we do that, we sift through it and understand that what's happening around us has absolutely nothing to do with the decision. It's all about what's going on within us. You know, the body scan, environmental scan. It's not about what's happening. It's about how we're recognizing it. It's how we're interpreting it. It's how we're comprehending it. And ultimately, how we're going to respond to it. So then I go from sift and I return to what? My anchor. My I am declaration. Boom. I'm aligning inwardly. Then I go to shift. What am I shifting? One thought. I'm entering back into a right idea mindset. How? By returning that one thought to I am opportunity. Now I make the choice. I make my decision from the inside out, and I start my day with my choice. Powerful things. So, teacher, options, intention, opportunity. And my motive is to actively and presently have awareness of the options and opportunities in every moment of this entire day. That's my motive behind my intention, I am, and my narrative construct, I am opportunity. I want to be actively present and with a new lens of awareness. Why? Because I stop and I gain new insight information. That allows me to move in to a new lens of awareness, which presents me pivot points by returning to my anchor of I am opportunity. Powerful. Boom. It's like, well, what are you saying? This is not just fate. No. I'm stopping and making the unconscious conscious and participating from the now. I am the most active participant. I am consciously participating in the options and opportunities presented to me now. So we look at that sometimes. I am opportunity. And we look at doors. People say, if the door opens, walk in. If the door closes, move on. Wait a minute. You're telling me I have agency and autonomy and ultimately authority. So can I open any door I want? Sure. If that door says opportunity is closed, I'm going to open that door and walk in with confidence. Why? Because I walk into every room today with two things. my ego and my I am declaration. Choice. So I can open that door. It doesn't have to open for me. Sometimes it will. Walk in, boy, whatever. Let's do this, right? Sometimes that door will close on its own. Cool. Sometimes I have to pull the door closed. Sometimes I have to know and be aware of my exit. Right? My exit. That is my power. That is my choice. That I can exit any situation. I can even exit that situation mentally for a while. I could exit the noise mentally and just return then mentally. Or I can do it mentally and physically and walk away. I have that power today. I have that authority, and I ain't giving that up to no one or nothing, because I am opportunity, right? So we look at that, and so I'm going to look at my intention, opportunity, my narrative construct, I am opportunity, and I said my motive, right? And my purpose is, I always put my purpose is the overall life impact, my intention and I am declaration are going to have on my life overall. I always base that in scripture, because the three indispensables is writing. I did my writing in my framework. Reading, I read over the body of work in my framework, telling me, reminding me, teaching me. Present me with my intention, my I am declaration. My motive sets the day in motion, because the intention has set me in motion first. I'm not chasing my day. I am the most active participant in my day, experiencing everything, every moment fully. Guided by a scripture. So today I have two scriptures, right? Because they both spoke to me, and so that when that happens, I have to really give credit to my source. Because when I turn to the I become one with God. Why? Because that's where God is. I am a temple of God. He dwells within me. So when I return to the I return to divinity. All right, and that's the power too. The power of that return to the I. But anyway, my purpose number one is Ephesians 5:6 that says, "Make the most of every opportunity, because the day of his return is coming." All right? Make the most of every opportunity. And Colossians 4:5 that says, "Be wise in the way you treat outsiders, strangers, new people. Be wise in how you treat them, and make the most of every opportunity in every moment today." So those are two scriptures guiding my purpose. So I pray and ask God to allow his understanding to flow from him to me, through me, from me, and back to me, creating choice and opportunity in me and all around me. Stay blessed, keep interviewing, and I love you.